So a lot of people are being priced out of the Mexico TRC program. This was one of the easiest and the fastest residency, which led to Mexican citizenship in future, right? The initial starting point for that pathway to citizenship, and the requirements were very modest. They were $2,700 USD. A lot of my viewers actually benefited from this program. A lot of people who I have helped and a lot of people who've been watching my content, other YouTubers' content, and they were able to acquire the all important Mexican residency. A lot of people who just sat and they waited or didn't do much about it, they missed out. And at this point, and I had published an article earlier this month as part of my advanced area that there's going to be an estimated 20 to 30% increase in the financial requirements to qualify for the Mexican TRC. It's almost nearing $4,000 USD. A lot of people, not so much from the West, because people from US and Canada typically earn those amounts, but people from other regions slowly but surely aren't able to qualify for those financial requirements. And these are only going up all the time. So what are some of the alternatives or some other options, right? And some people, plain and simple, don't like Mexico. They want other options, or they already have Mexico and they want other options before the other options start closing. And I'm going to discuss two very important Latin residencies which have flexible physical presence in the country. And I'm going to talk about Guatemala and Honduras, very similar Plan B countries. Guatemala is slightly higher in terms of the quality of life, less crime. So it's a better Plan B residency, in my opinion. Obviously, other people will have their own thoughts, but I think Guatemala is safer and better as compared to Honduras. But at the end of the day, when you compare the passports and the residencies, they're neck and neck. They're at par, and both passports are damn solid travel documents. Now, both these programs have several options to qualify for residency, right? And you don't have to spend your whole life there. The first thing when I talk about any Plan B residency, people jump up and down and they talk about the crime. Crime is everywhere. Crime is in US. Crime is in Canada. Crime is all over the world. Here we're talking about the passport. We're talking about getting the residency. Let's say you're residing in a 5-star facility, right? You're living in a top hotel for a few days, obtaining your residency and then moving on to wherever you need to move on to. So that's the scenario we're talking about. We're not talking about moving there for the rest of your life. At the end of the day, you want a flexible residency, which should lead to an important citizenship. So both these two countries have several options to qualify for residency, including the investor route where you can outright deposit cash amount of 100K for Guatemala and approximately 50K USD for Honduras, right? So that's the investor route. Both give you residency in the country. The second route is the passive income route, right? So let's say you have an annuity, and we discuss annuities with a lot of clients who don't have passive income. They can obtain an annuity and still be eligible for any of these programs. So annuity, pension, retirement income, and the threshold is fairly low. It ranges from 1250 a month to 2000 a month, and it gets you either temporary or permanent residency in these countries. Honduras is very flexible on its requirements. Guatemala is slightly higher, understandably. Once you get this residency, there's options to get permanent residency directly, right? If you use the annuity or the pension, the rentista, the retirement, you can directly jump onto the permanent residency. You obviously have to be in the country once a year, right? You want to renew this in time. You don't want to lose this permanent residency. And after 5 years, you can obviously apply for your citizenship. One of the countries does not have a language requirement at the end. And also, it's flexible on the amount of residency that's required inside the country. I'm working with several attorneys in both these places. A lot of us are actually in the middle of executing this program for closed ones. And again, as more information is available, obviously I'll be making more videos, more content. If you're subscribed, you would be notified with additional information regarding both these two programs. Now, the passport that you get from Guatemala, Honduras, or Mexico, they're comparable, right? They have rich visa-free access. They're flexible residencies. When you talk about dual citizenship, there's several options to play this safe, right? A lot of people read something online. Maybe it's outdated information. Maybe they don't understand how it works and they comment and everyone is an expert, right? Everyone is an expert in this domain. They're never talking to an attorney, but they seem to know the whole constitution. They've read something somewhere and they seem to know everything. So you got to be smart, right? You got to know the practical ground level realities. You got to keep this as a plan B. A lot more information on this to come. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed and catch you in the next one.